For our exercise number 3, we have r equals g times s divided by g plus s. And we need to solve for g. So, again, right? We have a fraction equals a fraction. Okay, so let's do something different here. Every time that you have a fraction equals a fraction, notice that there's no plus or minus other thing here. Neither right here. There's no plus or minus r, right? There's nothing here. So we have a fraction equals a fraction. So we could apply the cross multiplication. So let's apply cross multiplication. Again, because we have a fraction equals a fraction. On the left side, we have r divided by 1, which is alone, fraction by itself, and gs over g plus s by itself, only a fraction. There's nothing else, okay? So let's do cross multiply. This r is going to multiply g plus s. And this one is going to multiply gs. So let's start by multiplying r times g plus s. So let's write it. R will multiply g plus s. We have to write the parentheses because we have more than one term here. So this r will multiply g, and then it's going to multiply s. Now, that's the first cross multiplication. R multiplied by g plus s equals the other cross multiplication. 1 multiplied by gs. Let's write it like this. 1 times gs, okay? Which eventually will be just gs, right? So let's write it here. Just gs. In the left side, we have to do the distribution. This r is going to multiply g, and then we'll multiply s. So r times g is simply rg plus, because we have a plus here, and r is positive, r times s will give us rs. Now, notice here, we need to solve for g, right? But we have g in this term and g in this term right here. So we have two options. Option 1 is that we bring this rg to the right side, or bring this gs to the other side, because we need to solve for g, but we have two of them. So we have to put them together in the same side, okay? The quicker way, or the fastest way, is to just move this rg to the other side. So we could leave the term without g by itself. So let's do that. So let's move the rg. Notice that it's positive, so the opposite will be negative. And you have to move the two things together, okay? So we will have, this cancels, and we will have rs equals gs minus capital R g. Notice that these two terms are not like terms, because this one has s, but this one does not, right? But they both have g. Now, notice in the right side, we have g here, we have g here. If both terms have the variable that we want to solve for, we have to factor out that variable that we want to solve for. In this case, it's g. Because if we factor the common term, in this case, which is g, right? We're going to factor g. We are left with only one g, and that's what we want. So let's factor out that g, because that's the variable that we want to solve for. So notice that to get from g to gs, we are missing the s. Now notice here we have a minus, so let's bring it down. Now to go from g to rg, we are missing the capital R. And in the left side, we have rs. So the g is already factored out, okay? Now notice, this g is multiplying all of this term, which is s minus r. So we could get rid of it, okay? Because this g is multiplying all of this. So we have to get rid of all of this that is multiplying g. And to get rid of something that is multiplying, we do the opposite, which is division. So we divide by s minus r both sides. So notice what's going to happen. This s minus r will cancel with this s minus r. And in the right side, we are left with simply g. And in the left side, we are left with rs divided by s minus r. So g is by itself, so that's our final solution.